It's another edition of the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast. We call it Weather for Weather Geeks. 5 years and running on this video. Hard to believe we've been doing these in-depth weather videos for about 5 years now, since late winter or early spring of 2013. All right, before we get to the weather, let's talk a little bit about the Skywarn training sessions. Looked like a great crowd up in Warren this evening at KSU Trumbull for the first session in our region for this season. We have 3 more opportunities in our viewing area anyway to get Skywarn certified here across the Mahoning and Shenango Valleys. The next one is in Lisbon on the 28th, and then over in Mercer on April 11th and April 25th at Austintown Fitch High School in the auditorium. All these that are at 6:30. These are run by National Weather Service meteorologists, both in the Cleveland and Pittsburgh offices. And again, if you're a little unfamiliar with this, this is a training to get citizens more educated on spotting different types of severe weather phenomena, whether it be types of clouds, tornadoes, and of course all that stuff that comes with severe weather. The more people we have trained as certified storm spotters, the more it helps us, not only TV meteorologists, but National Weather Service meteorologists as well. It really helps if we have trained eyes and ears out there during severe weather, so people know what they're looking at. You know, to a lot of people who haven't been formally trained in these sorts of things, every funny looking cloud is a funnel cloud. And at these Skywarn training sessions, they really take the time to really talk about, no, not every funny looking cloud or scary looking cloud is a funnel cloud. Here's what a funnel cloud is, a roll cloud, a shelf cloud, and then lots of other things. They're great. They're great opportunities to get formally trained. And if you're not certified yet and you're watching this video, chances are you're pretty weather savvy. But if you're not certified yet, I would encourage you to do so this spring. Speaking of spring, one of the sure signs that spring is getting here is when we change the clocks. The start of daylight saving time at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. I always joke that for every time that someone says daylight savings time, I'm going to dock them $5 or put them in detention or put their name on the blackboard or something. That's one of those pet peeve things. It's one of those things that for whatever reason just became a thing in the public at large, that it's daylight savings time. No, there's no S. It's daylight saving time. But anyway, that aside, of course, this Saturday night and Sunday morning we'll be changing the clocks, losing an hour of sleep. That's the bad news. The good news is, check out the sunset times coming up. When we change the clocks on Sunday that evening, the sun will not set until 7:24. By the end of this month, it's 7:46 for a sunset time on the 31st day of March. So again, just a sign that the seasons are changing, and that's one of those things I really look forward to. Look forward to more daylight in the evenings. All right, we had some sunshine today, a little bonus sunshine. We had a dry slot that worked in as we got into the afternoon today. Wasn't necessarily expecting that when I worked last evening, and that allowed the sun to come out and allowed temperatures to rise into the upper 40s in a lot of spots today. Pretty easy to pick out our low out here this afternoon and this evening. It's this pinwheel that's going to kind of park across our region and actually transfer a lot of its energy over to the coast and become a big nor'easter. But in the meantime, some rain showers are breaking out underneath that low and ahead of it across western Ohio, parts of Indiana. It's snow showers where the air is cold enough back towards Chicago and Green Bay. Well, they're getting set for another whopper of a snowstorm here across the Northeast, and winter storm warnings extend from Bangor, Maine, right down through Albany, Burlington, New York City, Scranton, Philadelphia, and this is a classic, nor'easter. A lot of places are going to get at least a foot worth of wind-driven snow out of this, and I don't miss this. When I worked at AccuWeather, we had a lot of clients in this I-95 corridor from Philly to New York City to Boston. I was on the radio in all these places almost every day, and you see this so often in the winter. Those big cities where millions upon millions of people live, they're always right on the dividing line between a lot of snow and not much snow, making for very difficult and very impactful forecasts. If the track of the storm is 20 miles different, it means that millions more people get more snow or less snow, and it really can impact their daily lives, of course. So really high pressure forecasts for these big metropolitan areas across the Northeast. So they're going to be dealing with that. Back here at home, we'll be dealing with a spotty rain shower or two later on tonight, after midnight probably. Now, as most people are getting up and around tomorrow morning, the air is going to be getting colder as that upper low swings in The air is going to be getting colder at the ground level, but more importantly upstairs a little bit. So I expect to change over to some wet snow showers tomorrow morning, largely non-impactful. You may have to brush off your car, might coat some cars, some grassy surfaces. Not expecting any real impacts on the roads with this tomorrow morning. Once we get done with that initial round of snow showers in the morning, I don't expect to do a whole lot the rest of the day. Maybe a flurry, maybe a sprinkle. That is about it. Again, so the weather not tremendously impactful on Wednesday. It's Thursday that we can have some impacts. This dashed black line, this is a trough of low pressure, kind of a cold front that's going to be pivoting in, enhancing the uplift in the atmosphere, and also there's going to be some lake enhancement and lake effect getting set up here as well. And so I think these snow showers can mean a little more business Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, and maybe some leftover flurries into the day on Friday as well. I do think that some accumulations are possible with this during the second half of the day, Thursday and into Thursday night. Our models here for Vienna, where the airport is, showing a general inch or two, maybe three, and I kind of like that idea for most spots. An inch or two, maybe three. Best chance of three is probably in the northern viewing area, closer to the primary snow belt. So we're going to have to watch for some slick travel during the second half of the day, Thursday and into Thursday night as well. It'll have an easier time sticking because it'll be colder Thursday. Not much better than freezing Thursday afternoon. Then we'll drop into the 20s Thursday night, so the snow can certainly stick to untreated surfaces. Chilly pattern. Average high is now 42 here in the first week or two of March, and we're going to struggle to get there over the next week. A very blustery and cold end of this week, with temperatures struggling to get above freezing, wind chills in the 20s. Decent-ish weekend coming up, 37 Saturday, 40 degrees on Sunday before the next batch of cold air arrives early on next week. When we look at the longer range, this is the 6 to 10 day outlook. Good chances for colder than average temperatures east of the Mississippi. And then once we get into the longer range, we're talking 8 to 14 days, I do think it's going to warm up. Now, does this look super warm? No. And there's some question now as to how long this warm-up will last. I do think that a thaw is coming probably around between, say, the 15th of the month through the 20th of the month, kind of in that zone. But does it last a few days or a couple of weeks? Leaning towards it only lasting a few days, then we might turn chilly again for the tail end of March. So it's kind of like last year. Last year we had the warmest February on record. March was chilly. This year we had the fourth warmest February on record. March is chilly. And again, any warmth we see in that 8 to 14 day period may be offset by another chilly snap at the end of the month. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here tomorrow night, and check out my updated forecast on the Storm Tracker 21 app, and also tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock.